After 4 acclaimed seasons, Resident Alien is coming to an end on SYFY and USA Network, and the cast and creators behind the series have shared their thoughts with us at San Diego Comic-Con 2025. Based on Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse graphic novel of the same name, the sci-fi comedy series has followed the misadventures of the titular extraterrestrial as he crash lands in Patience, Colorado, and attempt to disguise himself as local Dr. Harry Vanderspiegel. Befriending his head nurse, Asta, Harry begins developing a compassion for humanity and turns to protecting them from other alien races out to destroy the world. Resident Alien Season 4 has seen Harry, Asta and Darcy shocked by the revelation that a mantid, initially disguising itself as Harry, is on Earth and killing various people and animals in the Patience area. Meanwhile, the trio are also at work trying to finally put a stop to the Greys' efforts to reclaim Kate's baby and give up their designs on Earth. With just a few episodes remaining, it was revealed that Resident Alien had been cancelled by USA and SYFY, bringing it to an end with the Season 4 finale. In honor of the show's appearance at San Diego Comic-Con 2025, Screen Rant hosted Chris Sheridan, Alan Tudyk, Sarah Tomko, Alice Wetterlund and Corey Reynolds in our suite to discuss Resident Alien Season 4. The group shared their reactions to the cancellation news, including why they weren't all that surprised by the network's decision, as well as the biggest lessons they've learned from their time on the sci-fi comedy hit, and what advice they'd give to their characters back in the pilot if they were able to go back in time. Resident Alien's cancellation wasn't brand new news for the show's team. Every season, we've been told they might cancel it. While announcements of renewals and cancellations are generally the case going into a show's final few episodes of a season, Resident Alien's axing came as something of a surprise to fans given it was just before the show's panel at SDCC 2025. However, for Sheridan and his cast, not only was it not a surprise, it's something they've seen coming for a few years now, just waiting for the eventual decision by the network. As such, the creator and showrunner sought to make sure fans weren't left hanging. A year ago, when we started the season, I was pretty sure that this is how it would go down, Sheridan said. So, in trying to figure out what we were doing creatively for Season 4, I made a decision, back then, to finish telling the story. I didn't want to end up in a situation where we had cliffhanger, and it was left untold, and then we got cancelled after that. So, we sort of took it upon ourselves to end it our own way. For Tudyk and Reynolds, however, they both had their own humorous takes on why Resident Alien was cancelled, with the former chuckling as he expressed, "I saw it coming from the financial collapse of 2007. The Sheriff Mike actor agreed with his Emmy-nominated co-star, "That's when it began," humorously saying one could trace the roots back from SYFY and USA Network's decision to after the big bailout. Tomko expounded on Sheridan's feelings about how it was quite surreal to work on every season of Resident Alien as she and her co-stars were consistently told they might cancel it, only for the show to keep running. The Asta actor likened it to the situation in The Boy Who Cried Wolf, questioning if the sci-fi comedy was ever going to end, only for them all to agree, "We just want to end on our terms and get it to a place where it feels good for us and for the fans." So to finally have that phone call, Tomko recalled, Chris said, "He called us individually, it felt very surreal. I almost feel like I'm not quite sure that I'll process it until January, when we're not shooting." Reynolds, Tudyk and Wetterlund all turned to joking about Tomko's analogy, acknowledging there was definitely something different about this time when the boy cried wolf, as this time, they all heard the wolf coming. And we laughed, and he was like, "No, I'm super serious you guys. This wolf is whooping my A. I need some help over here," Reynolds said with a chuckle. We were like, "This guy." The show taught them all to flip the script on their normal characters. I'm going to have to reel it back in a little bit. Alice Wetterlund as Darcy Bloom in Resident Alien. Having played their characters in, and lived in the wacky world of Resident Alien for nearly 5 years, the group all acknowledge they will be taking away some big lessons from their time going into future projects. For starters, Tudyk and Reynolds both joke they have to reel it back in a little bit with their future roles, with the former admitting, "I might go to 11 now," given he's been living in the reality of an alien for long enough that anything can be justified with his acting. So, any behavior I exhibit, no matter how wild it is, can be justified by who I am, Tudyk explained. And in the story itself, the world was very strong that way. It was rooted, and I couldn't break out of it, and it was amazing for that. So, probably now, going back into more pedestrian-type jobs, I'm going to need to bring the spectrum of what I do and funnel it down. Reynolds also explained there's a likelihood that he'll have to pull back on improvising on other sets the way he did on the sci-fi comedy, recalling conversations with Resident Alien script supervisors in which they had to remind the star, "We'd like you to stick to the script," after going off on some unexpected tangents while playing Sheriff Mike. They'd come over to me and say, the line is, "I need you in my office at 9 o'clock, Reynolds shared." And I would say, "What did I say?" And them saying, "You said, hey, what are you doing after work? Do you want to maybe go grab a beer and maybe go by a titty bar? Or do you want to maybe go to Universal Studios and ride some roller coasters? Because I got a bunch of stuff I got to do, I got like $20 in my pocket." That's what I'm going to have to get used to, is toning it down, coming back into the realm of pulling back in. Chuckles. For Wetterlund, on the other hand, she actually found Resident Alien demanded more from her on the side of drama, having previously starred in the similar type TBS series People of Earth, albeit not requiring as much drama as comedy, for which she has always felt extremely confident as a comedic performer. Admitting to having a lot less confidence, when she started playing Darcy, she praised the experience with the role, her co-stars, particularly feeding off Sarah's energy, and the directors of the show helped her learn so much. Tomko shared a similar outlook on her time on Resident Alien with all of her co-stars, feeling Asta has let her play the straight man and do a lot of the drama versus the comedy throughout the show's run, but that after 4 seasons, she's starting to finally make jokes and have a laugh. The comedy of the show, particularly Tudyk's outrageous work as Harry, even led Tomko to attend a clown class, which she just recently graduated, and has given her confidence to stand out a little bit more in future productions. "I can try things and just not worry so much about it," Tomko expressed. "I think I was a little bit like Asta in that way, where I was always a little bit of a people pleaser, wanting to make everybody happy. And now it's more about just what's right for the character, and what's right for the moment. So I'm going to tone it up."